Oh, we just be vibing out. She don't wanna talk about it. Oh, we get her right now. He don't wanna talk about it. Having crazy thoughts about it. Keep feeling uncut. Rolling number one. Tell me what is up at the right. Why will we drink and get high? It's a podcast revolution. Will be televised tonight. Open on my third eye. We'll be dripping, get fly. Welcome to the right wine.
Alright, what up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Rap Wire, where when you put it all together, you get therapy. I am your host, Contradiction. Today, I want to talk a little bit about relationships and motherhood. This episode is for all my moms out there, whether you're single or you're co-parenting or maybe you're married, who knows? And if you are single, it does not matter. You can still find gems and jewels in this episode. Today, I want to introduce you to my guest, Lady P, no other than Plus Model Perez. What up, P?
What's Gucci?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So look, P, I just wanted you to tell the world about yourself, give them some background information. You know, we're going to chop it up.
Yes. Hey, you guys. I am Plus Model Paris. I am a mom, fiance, model, clothes coach, creative director. And I am excited to be here. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Plus Model Paris. That's on all my platforms as well. And yeah, I'm ready to drop some gems about motherhood, relationships, and the whole nine.
Sounds good to me. All right, so I guess we're going to kick it off with starting with relationships. That's how we're going to set it up. So this segment is called Sinking Ships or Relationships.
Right.
P, just be as honest as you can with it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You don't know what's coming.
I don't. I'm scared. Let me drink my drink.
This is not a drill. This is not a practice. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So we're going to dive into it, and I think we should get started.
All right, let's get to it.
We up with sinking ship and relationships, and I want to ask you this question. Okay.
I'm scared.
How do you stimulate your man mentally? I know that there are a lot of conversations in today's household with a man being expected to lead, protect, provide. And a lot of men nowadays will say that women do not stimulate them mentally to help them to move into that entity of life. How do you stimulate your man mentally?
That's a good question because I think a lot of times people don't know how to stimulate their man mentally. But with me, I think let my man know that I appreciate him. So like words of affirmation, just showing appreciation, whether it's, oh, babe, let's go do this. Like, I'll pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And men, like, paying for something for a man is like a big gesture because a lot of women don't do that, surprisingly. And I've been with my fiance for damn near 10 years. So it's like, I just thought that was normal. Like, if you're dating a guy, you want to reciprocate the energy. Like, women don't do that. And I just be like, but that's neither here nor there. But for me, it's showing appreciation. I think that is the deepest way that a man can feel safe, secure from a woman's perspective. Because men, just like how we want to feel safe and secure, men want to feel safe and secure too. So appreciation, words of affirmation, and just like when he get home from work, relax, I'll be in the shower. I'm cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the stuff that you do when you have a man that's like taking care of you and your family and stuff like that. That goes a long way.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. So at the end of the day, it seems like to me, you are partly what they would consider a traditional woman. You say you cook. You do the cleaning, you try to help him understand, like, hey, babe, you've been in the field with boulders all day. That's how they would kind of describe it back in the day. Like, you were hunting, you were gathering, and now when you come home, I'm going to take what you've gathered and I'm going to make it multiply.
That's exactly what I do. 100%.
That's amazing. So
100%.
Tell me a little bit more about the traditionalist aspect of women, because I heard that a lot of women aren't traditional anymore.
They're not. And I think this era of social media with people or women in general, like, oh, I'm not ready for a man, I'm not submitting to the man. You said, I'm like, y'all gotta be for real. Women, I'm not gonna say, I keep saying women in general, they say they want husbands, they want somebody to treat them good, but like, most men are not gonna take you serious if you're not reciprocating energy. And you can't reciprocate energy to every man, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Your message. You cannot reciprocate energy for every man, okay? Because some men are bums. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like you have to reciprocate energy. And me being traditional, like I saw my mom do this, like, you know what I'm saying? Cook, clean, you know what I'm saying? And my dad was a provider. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
That's a major key when you are in a relationship and you're with a man. If he's at work all day, you work from, like, for my example, I work from home like 2-3 days out of the week. So my man, he got to go to work every day. So when he come home, house is spotless, clothes is folded,
okay,
dinner on the stove, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what you do. I feel like, you know, it's what I saw growing up. And I just feel like that's what you do to show appreciation to your man who is, like you said, in the field all day. I just feel like that's what you should do. And to say, like, to other women who feel like they can't do that, I just feel like you have to find the right one. And nobody's perfect.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Nobody's
we are
perfect.
not perfect. And so you said a couple of things that kind of piqued my ear. One of them, you said submit to your man. And I wanted to know from your own definition, what does submit mean? And do you feel like you submit to Jabril?
Yes. So submission to me is a lot of things. So, for example, everything I just mentioned, like as far as cooking, cleaning, letting him lead in certain areas, like financially, like, you know, let me take care of this, you know what I'm saying? Submission goes a long way, and it has several definitions. But for me, it's, like I said, cooking, cleaning. When we talk about finances, like, he pretty much be like, okay, here's the money, pay what you need to pay for. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the man that's leading. So I'm going to be submissive. You know what I'm saying? You know, sexually, mentally, stuff like that. So I think that's a major thing with the type of man that you're dealing with.
That hit a little different. No, seriously. Because like you said, submitting to a man, it does play its role when a woman can allow him to be the leader almost.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of days now, women feel like they don't have the provider in the man, and they feel like they're always constantly in that driver's seat. So it's good that you feel like you can get in the passenger seat and trust Jabril's judgment. You can trust what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? And then so another thing that I would like to ask you, because you just kind of brought it up. So me and my boyfriend, we talk a lot about what women desire and what they need in a relationship as well. And one of the things that he believes is women at least want 2 out of 3 of these things, right? So it's conversation, it's sex, and it's money. Do you agree with that? And if you had to pick 2 of the 3, which ones are you picking?
Damn. Conversation, sex, and money.
Yes. And sex, let me just break that down for a lot of people who don't know. Sex, according to him, is not just like actually getting in the bed. It could be physical attraction, the way you're looking, the way you carry yourself, your sexual appeal, things of that nature.
Right.
And then I think the other 2 are kind of money, you know, your status, you know, your bank account, what that looks like, the way you manage money, of course. And then, of course, your conversation. Are we mentally stimulating each other like we talked about early?
Right.
What do you talk about with me? You know, are you sapiosexual? Things of that nature.
That's a good question. So for me, it would be conversation. Because you don't want to be nobody that don't know how to, you know, relate if there's something's wrong with you. Communication, like that's a major key in relationships. A lot of people don't know how to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But communication is major for me, because if we come across a bump in the road, what's going on? Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's unpack this really quickly.
Yeah.
So communication is definitely key for me. And I would say money. And I don't know, I always sound like cliche, like, oh, you got money. Like, no, but you know what I'm saying? In today's age and time and what me and Jabril are trying to achieve, like, we have to have some money in the bank.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? That who's to say, God forbid, he lost his job tomorrow, the fort would still be held down. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
So money is important, you know, in certain areas. You have a kid now, you know, kids is expensive.
Oh, that part.
So money is kind of important. I feel like the sex aspect comes with that. In a situation, like, because you could communicate, I can speak to you, certain, you know what I'm saying? That all goes into that type of, like, the situation, if that makes sense. Like,
no,
the conversations we have, I like that, like how you said that, you know what I'm saying? And then that can stimulate me to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a leeway.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what they call it, a sapiosexual. It's like you're
sapiosexual,
exactly. You're intelligent, and it turns you on to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. No, that hit a little different. And it's weird because I know me, I can be shallow a little bit. You know, I know looks do matter. You hear me? Respectfully. But like I will say, you know, becoming a mom for me, it really put a lot of other things into perspective. And one thing that I constantly talk about is the want and the need of stability. You know what I'm saying? It's
100%.
very important to be stable. And my man always tell me, there's nothing wrong with you asking for that. That is okay. That's pretty much what everyone wants. Stability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that does hit a little different.
Right.
So the next thing I want to talk to you about is you and Jabril. Like, I want to get a little bit more into you guys. So do you feel like starting off as friends is important in a relationship? Or do you feel like it is what it is and y'all catch up when y'all catch up? And how did you guys start off? Did y'all start off as friends?
Yes, we started off as friends, and I think that's very important. Like, because if you start off as friends, like, that's your foundation. And if you can be a good friend, you can be a good partner. That's my take on it. Like, if you're a terrible friend, you're going to be a terrible partner because you can't communicate. You can't do certain things. So I think starting off as a friend is very important. Like, crazy how me and Jabril started off. We literally started off as friends. He would be telling about his little whatever he used to be talking to, and I'm like, yeah, that's cute. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would just kind of brush it off, but I think we established a really good friendship from the jump with open communication and just being honest with each other, and I think that is what led us to us lasting so long, because I can tell him pretty much anything. Like, I don't care if I fucked some shit up or something, I did something wrong. Not in like that, as in like, oh, I spent some money today, I went to Target again, and spent $200.
That, the lives of us all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, and I'm supposed to be working on my credit. Like, it's like stuff like that. He be like, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? it just move right along. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's just that I'm being honest and I'm being open, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, if you can't be honest with them and be open with them, you don't have a business being with that person.
No.
That's just how I feel.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And it's funny that you brought that up, because that was going to be the second part of that question. How do you feel like being friends to help y'all to sustain your relationship? Because I know if you don't start off as friends and you kind of just go into the relationship, what do you have to fall back on at the end of the day? You know, it's kind of like, dang, we're just out here with no foundation.
Exactly.
But like you said, that friendship serves a major foundation.
It serves a major foundation in so many ways. Like, for example, like just this past Valentine's Day, it was my year to do Valentine's Day. And I'm like, we were kind of like in a, you know how sometimes as parents, like we're fairly new parents, we're like 2 years in the game. It can get hard sometimes, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
It can get really hard. So I'm like, you know, but let's take it back to our roots. Let's go back to Baltimore where we first met. You know what I'm saying? And kind of go down like a memory lane type of thing. And that literally got us together real quick. Because that's what we started off as friends. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really important to kind of like, sometimes you got to take it back.
Yeah.
You got to take it back and just regroup, reset. And I think that's what has had our relationship last so long, because we had that strong foundation from the jump.
I love to hear that. Back to the basics is always good. I know me and my boyfriend always talk about maybe trying to do more date nights, because
that's very important when you have a show. It's a necessity. And some people might hate me for this, but I feel like you have to put your partner before your kids sometimes.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Because that I'm interested in hearing.
Because yes, I love my daughter down. Like if I gotta die tomorrow for her, that's what's going down. But in a relationship, marriage, what I'm getting ready to step into, if me and Jabril are not on one accord, our whole household is off. So my daughter
gonna say that again for the listeners. I don't think they heard you.
When me and Jabril are off, our whole household is off. So Giovanna picking up on that energy.
Oh yes,
you get what I'm saying. So if I'm not,
that through my soul.
You feel me? So a lot of people don't like that, but I just feel like if your marriage is solid, relationship is solid, and you and your partner are going through the wrath, your child is going to feel that.
Yes, ma'am.
Point blank, Brent. I don't want my daughter to ever be in a home where the energy is off, the vibes is off.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to make sure that whatever me and Jabril got going on, like, you know what, G, I'm going to drop you off right quick. Let me go handle, you know what I'm saying? Me and Jabril get on a long time.
Yeah.
And that's a priority. Because if me and Jabril are not where we need to be, like, you know, how we are on a day-to-day communicating, it affects my daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she only one.
I know.
But Miss Girl can pick up on it.
Oh, yes. Even as an infant, I will say that babies feel energy. That means you have to think about it. Even when you're carrying your baby in your womb, they feel energy from that point. But when they're a seed, energy is existing and it's transferring. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, you know. And
they don't.
I will never forget. So, you know, Zay, that's my boyfriend. So he has a brother and a sister-in-law. And basically what they told us was, it's going to come a time in your life as a mom and a dad and in your relationship where the baby will test you guys because you don't got sleep, you don't know each other. You know, it's like y'all are learning all over again. Like the lack of sleep is making y'all be strangers towards each other. And the baby's in the middle. The baby requires a lot, but so does your relationship, and so does your partner, and so do you. And so you seem to have went through that storm. How did you and Jabril work as a couple to get over those humps and those hills? And what is advice out there to the new parents that are to become?
Ooh, child. That was triggering. Because, baby, when I first had my daughter, it was an adjustment. Like, so much had happened in that time period. I moved. My daughter was 5 years old, moving into a new place. We literally was moving out my old place into my new place. And we trying to get acclimated in our home with my daughter. So it was just a whole lot. I'm not going to say it was a mess, but it was a lot. Thankful for my village. But we definitely started going through some humps because, like, I'm at home all day with the baby. You know, I'm breastfeeding at this time. So, you know, breastfeeding is very time consuming. So she on my hip 24/7 and he feels like you're not paying attention to me. And I'm like, well, I mean, my daughter got to eat. You get what I'm saying? So it caused a strain on our relationship. Like, it was bad. It was real bad. And so we moved past that. We honestly just sat down and had a whole conversation. I was like, look, I'm not the same person I was before I gave birth. I'm a whole new woman now. Like, I have a responsibility for this child. Like, I'm going through the hormones, you know, and as a mom, that postpartum shit hits different. Yeah. It hits really different. And so he was trying to, I guess, get to know the new me and get acclimated to that, get acclimated to being a dad. We both get parents. And like, he only was off, I think, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from his job. And I was at home with the baby all day, all night, you know, and he was like, well, I'm just about to go out. And I'm like, you gonna leave me at home? You know what I'm saying? But he just felt like I wasn't paying no attention to him because I'm with my child. But we moved past that. It took a lot of conversations. We had a very open, honest conversation about, I'm like, this is what's going on with me. You know, that we all knew. I didn't know I was going to be like this. He didn't know I was going to be like this. And he was understanding of that, and we moved forward. And that's why I say that's why communication. Of course. That's major key in any relationship. If we didn't have that conversation, Lord knows what, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of, like, we had to do a lot of actions too. Like, I had to make sure he was still, you know, taken care of. You know, like I said, I wasn't cleaning the house. I just had a baby. Yeah. I'm sleep deprived. Exactly. The house wasn't getting clean. Dinner wasn't getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get myself together. Took me like 3-4 months to get myself together, and then we were back into the swing of things. Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you on that. Right. As a mom, you know, the dads seem like they just can't sit down, can't stay still, and they're out and they're about and they're going with their friends, whether it's right to be up the block or whether it's to be wherever they want to go. And it's like, wait, what about me? What about you taking this baby? Like, you can put the baby in the car seat too. Like, what do you mean? Like, it was an adjustment. Help. It was a it was an adjustment. It's an adjustment for both of you, for both of us. It was an adjustment. So now that we're adjusted, we kind of, you know, got it a little down pat. Yeah. You know, we got our village situated. Yes, ma'am. And stuff like that. So. And I'm glad you talked about a village. So it's funny because these are constant conversations in my household. So they seem to believe that women mainly have a higher percentage of women have a better and more stable support system or a better village than most men. He's not saying that all men don't have a village, but he feels like women are more of that one. So my question to you is, who do you think have the better or more support stable system with keeping, you know, your baby girl? Is it your side of the family or is it his side of the family? It was probably my side. Yeah. That's what he said. That's what Zay said. You know, if it's not his mom or my mom or G's godmom or aunt, nobody's watching her. Exactly. You can't have nobody watching your kids. Exactly. Like, that part. That's it. Like, and if those people can't watch it, then we just not going. Yeah. But I just feel like a village is definitely needed. You know what's crazy? What? Before I had my daughter, so naive. People like, yeah, it takes a village. Like, ain't nobody raising my child. You know, that's the saying. It takes a village. Yes. I used to be like, ain't nobody raising my child. Oh, baby, humble. I got humbled so quick. Okay? So quick on a village. Yeah. And that's very, 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 very important to have a village before you have a child. Agreed. Because it's going to be an adjustment. It is. And I have to give a shout out to my mom because my mom on my side, she's been my village since day one. I mean, since having my baby, she's been there.
And yeah, we go through our struggles, and it is a struggle. But at the end of the day, who can I call? Not Ghostbusters. I call my mom. Like, that's some real tea. You hear me?
Factual.
You know, and I even have my boyfriend calling my mom because he know at the end of the day, it gives reliable. It gives she gonna be there if she can. And like you said, and if you can, okay, we're just not going. Because you cannot trust everybody with your child. Some people are weirdos.
Very much so weirdos. I can't. Yeah, if it's not the mother, the godmom, or the aunt, it's just not giving. Yeah. You're not watching my child.
Yeah, and my boyfriend, he can sometimes reach out to his mom, and if she's available, she'll step up and help. Mm-hmm. Of course, I have Court, or I got a
Court, shout out to Court, the babysitter.
Yes, ma'am, I got like my play sister Dwayne or Tori, who also have kids, so they're like, just bring her over, so but the main hitter quitter on my team has always been my mom, and I never want her to feel underappreciated or forsaken. Mom, I love you. This for you.
Yeah, shout out to mom. Shout out to the mom. Yeah, shout out to Pat.
Yes, ma'am. I'm 100% on that. So for you and Jabril, what is it like in just a normal day for you guys to have like G around y'all, that y'all still can be y'all selves and in a relationship, and because you said y'all got y'all new routine going. So what is that like now that all the kind of the humps of the newborn phase is out of the way? What is that like for y'all?
So I'm regular schedule, like of course Monday through Friday. So I work from home twice a week. So he goes to work every day. So when he comes home, I'll have dinner, cook, we'll put you down, we may watch a movie, smoke the hookah or something, drink some wine. Have those like moments. Then on the weekend we try to do family day like once or twice a month. But that'll be expensive. But we try to do like a little family day once or twice a month, just so we can all go out and do something fun. But the daily routine is like he'll come home, we eat, I feed G, bathe her, get her together, lay her down, and that's all time. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's very important.
Okay. And so what about the day in the life without G? If you got a babysitter and it's just y'all focusing on each other,
we outside.
Okay. we love to hear that.
We outside. We really be outside. And like before, I was like, I just want to sleep. Like, I got my daughter, but now that she a little older, I got her on a schedule. We be outside. We be outside.
I love that for you. No, I do. And like we talked about, having that village to go outside. Yeah. I mean, it means a lot, and it hit different.
It hits so different.
It hits very different.
So different.
And I hear you say you work from home. So what would you tell a woman who does not work from home, who has to stop by and maybe pick up the child from daycare, or they are coming in from the 8-hour workday? What is your advice on her to still let her man lead and still be able to get those things done, like cooking and cleaning? Or what if she can't? What do you tell women like that?
I was just living that life, so I just started a new job, so I didn't start working remotely till like a few weeks ago. So I was doing the 5-day every day.
And you was in the field too.
I was in the field. I'm like, hold on now. This is because my last job, I was wanting to work once a week. Like, I didn't really, you know what I'm saying? So going from once a week to every day for like a month and some change, I was going through. But what I did was I had to, of course, give myself some grace. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a big adjustment. Like, since I had my daughter, I always work remotely. So going in every day was a huge adjustment. So I had to give myself a little bit of grace. And I think just straightening up the house every day here and there, that kind of helped me not go crazy. Because when the house is a mess, I just be like, Lord, I can't. My house is just too much. But straightening up the house, on a daily basis, just like vacuuming, wiping down the mirror or something like that, that gives me a little peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? But to the mothers who don't, work from home, I think that on those weekends, sometimes that you do get to yourself or that you get to rest or sleep in, like, you really have to take that time for yourself, because what you don't want to do is be pouring from an empty cup.
Oh, girl. You
know what I mean? Yes. So pouring from an empty cup can give you burnout real quick. And I think a few weeks ago, maybe months ago, I was having a little bit of burnout. I said, look, I gotta get myself together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're like in a relationship, like you said, we live at home with our mans and we have children. A lot of the household runs on us.
Yes.
If I'm not washing the clothes and stuff and doing that, the house would be in disarray. So you have to reset and recharge. Like, go out with your friends, go to happy hour or something like that.
Every Friday when I'm off.
I think that's very important, like, to recharge yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
No, I agree. And speaking of pouring from an empty cup, when you and Jabril are sitting down and y'all having conversations or discussions, and maybe from time to time they may turn into arguments, how do you approach that? Do you think before you speak, or do you just go off on him and think like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have said that? Like, what is your real tea with that situation?
Growth. That's all I gotta say right now. Growth. Because baby, if you know, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
I've
grown so much. Thank the Lord.
No, listen, okay?
Because my mouth was lethal, and it's real bad. Like I had to get myself all the way together. And when we was going through our little speed bump, when we had first had our daughter, his cousin, cause to me, like that's my baby. Like I love her so bad. That's on his cousin on his side, was dad's side. Okay. She was locked in with me because she had just had her son a year ago, so she knew everything I was going through with her husband. Yes, and she was murdered. I'm like, oh my gosh. She was like, this is what this happens, and I was just so like in disarray. And she gave me the best advice. She was like, you have to pick and choose your battles. Yes, you have to pick and choose your battles. You cannot. Everything doesn't need a reaction. Even though you want to go all. Yep. And every time it's like pictures, like I can't, because then what happens? The house is in disarray. Exactly. Giovanna feels that energy. Exactly. Like, so sometimes I just be like, like, you know, and I be like, yeah, And he be like, what's wrong? Nothing. That's fine, babe. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get it. I had to put it all the way together. You know, because before I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Rah, rah, rah. But like, I'm older now. That you get more honey with bees. You what's the saying? You get more bees with honey. You get more bees with honey. And more flies with shit. Yeah, exactly. So I be thinking that in the back of my head. I'm like, if I go ahead and start this argument, what's really gonna happen? We gonna be beefing for like a week. Exactly. Like, is it even worth it? Like, no. And you know, you have to pick and choose your battles. Like, some stuff is not even worth arguing no more. Yeah. But Jabril, like, anything that he knows that I would have an issue with, he'll bring to me. He's like, so yeah, I think I want to do this, da-da-da. Like, can I go, da-da-da? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And like, I don't even trip because you asked me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to what? Communication. Communication. That's what it goes back to. And my DJ Khaled boy, major key. Major key alert. Okay. Major key alert. Exactly. I feel you though. I mean, because I feel like I had to grow, and I'm still growing. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I'm still growing. I will go off. Because I be quick. I be calling, I'm about to go off. And before I go off, I be like, Courtney, am I crazy? But just make sure I'm not crazy, because I'm about to go the fuck off. Like, and I be having it, because she was like, no, you're right, but like, don't do that. I'm like, okay. Courtney said, no, I'm gonna just chill, because if not, I'm gonna go off and we're gonna be beefing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still growing. So I gotta be an example for my daughter at the end of the day, and I don't want her to be, you know, rah, cussing men out and doing all that. Like, I've been there, done that. Yeah. Really, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be an example. No, I agree with you. One of the things that I can add on to Toomey is like, okay, you pick your battles. One thing that I do is I try my best to think before I speak. Like, is it thoughtful? Is it helpful? You know, is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it's none of those things, you probably shouldn't be saying them. Because it's not going to help you to get anywhere. Like you said, exactly. It's going to just make the argument worse. Again, the energy's transferring to our children in the house, and that's not what we want. Exactly. You feel me? And we are setting a model for our kids, whether we know it or not. Like, they are looking at us, and this is what they see. So we don't want them to grow up thinking this is normal. This is not a normal household. Like, exactly. You know? That's why I say I gotta watch my mouth and how I say stuff, you know. And it's gotten better. Like, I haven't really have no recent issues where I had to like rah-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't have to do none of that lately, but but yeah, it all goes back to communication. Nah, that's amazing. So, before we switch over to color of motherhood, because, you know, we want to talk a little bit more about that. I love the color of motherhood. That's so cool. For relationships or sinkerships, is there anything else you want to tell the listeners out there? Ooh, make it good, too. You've been doing a great job, so. I just feel like if I can drop some gems in regards to relationship, nobody's perfect. You're not going to find your knight in shining armor. Jabril got some shit with him. You feel me? Like, yes, ma'am. And I think women get so caught up on what their ideal man would look like, and 9 times out of 10, the man you fall in love with is not going to be who you think it is. You better say. They didn't hear you. It's not gonna be who you think it is. And I think that if we stop getting so caught up on social media stereotypes and this whole 50-50 conversation and all that BS, like, if you are really serious about a man and you know, want to be in a relationship, you have to, one, check yourself. Because I can't tell you how many times Bro checked me, and I had to check myself. And then just be open and honest. Like, I'm not saying everybody gotta know your tea or every man gotta know your tea, but just be honest, be yourself, and check yourself.
You know what's crazy, P? You said something that just triggered my mind. And before we literally hop away, because we really going into color of motherhood, I got one final question for you. How do you work through trauma in your relationship? Do you feel like you've carried some baggage over and had to work through it? Or do you feel like you are still constantly working through it, even while with Jabril happy and engaged and all?
I'm still working through some stuff, and that's crazy because I just started going to therapy a year ago.
That's amazing. Shout out to Black therapist.
Shout out to my Black therapist.
Yes,
I love her down. But I think I'm still dealing with not even just trauma from relationships, but like, you know, how you see your parents, because your parents, like you just said, are your first learners, like your first teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
So my mom and dad, they weren't married, but they had the perfect relationship. They had a perfect co-parent relationship. So that's how I always thought. Like, I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to get engaged or none of that. Like, I'm still shocked that this is my life. I say this all the time because I'm like, I can do a healthy co-parent. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, every day I'm breaking down generational curses and stuff, which is a blessing. But I think that a lot of times you just have to take it day by day.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you can do something, one little thing can trigger you. And you be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I think I have carried some stuff, you know, nothing like too traumatic, but like just how stuff made me feel and how I view, you know, certain aspects of people in my life. But I think taking it day by day is how you cope with anything. Because time heals all. I'm a firm believer in that.
Nah, that's definitely fact. And I like the way you put that. I mean, because like you said, we have trauma from our childhoods, you know, and things that you didn't even think were a trauma. It's a trauma.
Until you get older.
Yeah, and you start unpacking it. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror, sometimes not even recognizing who you become or trying to understand how did you get here in the first place. So I think it's important that we do therapy, and if you don't got therapy, smoke some tree, get a drink. Get a drink. So we're going to switch it over to color of motherhood. Yes. All right, P. So we stepping into the color of motherhood. You already know the vibes. We out here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So my first thing to ask you is, what is one thing about motherhood that you typically don't tell anybody, but you would like to get it off your chest?
But one thing about motherhood that I don't tell anybody.
But you're like, yeah, today I'm going to talk about that. Because you're telling the world it's your time.
Yeah, motherhood is hard. Like, a lot of people say that, but like, being in motherhood, like the past, like, year and a half, it's hard. And sometimes, I used to tell Courtney all the time, I'm like, yeah, I got motherhood under control today. And then the next day, motherhood whooped the shit out of me today. Like, some days you just be like, okay, you got it. Like, you don't even have the energy to even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think to combat that is grace and balance.
Ooh, yes.
Balance and grace.
That's magical words to my soul right there. I mean, because I will be honest. It's like, somebody once told me, don't pray for patience, pray for understanding in motherhood. And that get a little different. I'm like, let me understand my child is not listening.
Balance and grace. Give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And balance out, you know, Kanisha time.
Yeah.
And you know, you and your Hari time.
Of course. And that's important. And I love that you do that for G and you. It's so important. And so that leads me to my next question. If you could tell your pre-mother self anything, what would you tell your pre-mother self and why?
That's a good question.
I try my best.
If I could tell pre-Paris before my daughter.
Yep.
So much.
I know.
It's so much.
Let
I don't know. Like, I don't even know where to start. But no, I think the main thing is enjoy this time. Like, don't get so caught up in like the small stuff. Like right now, like as we get older, or even before I had my daughter, I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta get my master's, I gotta do this job, I gotta do this. And it's like, relax. Because now time goes by so fast now.
It does.
And you have to, like I said before, give yourself grace. And like, don't be such in a rush, because you're gonna have time. Because baby, when the child get here, all the worrying that you was doing about what you was worrying with, that's nothing.
It's out the window.
That's out the window. Like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what I was stressed out before I had my child. But now I'm stressed out. You feel me? It's that. It's my daughter. It's work. like it's a multitude of things, and I think if I could tell my older self to just relax. Just relax.
Yeah, no,
that was your freest times. Like you ain't that was your freest times.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I used to probably sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
Don't sweat the small stuff. That's what I would tell my old self.
I agree with you on that one. I think because for me, it's like, your biggest thing is you can't just get up and get dressed no more. You have to get your child dressed. Like, you want to go to Africa? I can't. I don't have a babysitter. Like, what do you
That's
mean?
real life for me. In real life. In real life. That's me.
Like, no, I can't go to Africa. I can't go to Cancun. I can't go anywhere hardly. And we talked about that village. And
right.
I think I wanted to zoom in a little bit more on that village part. Are you content with your village, or do you always wish you had a little bit more help?
I'm content.
That's
because I can drop my daughter off to mom. You know, like I had just went to Houston. Like I'm starting to back fake traveling. Like I used to travel a lot before my daughter, but now with inflation and all that, like, and then like you said, babysitter.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very crucial. But like, if I tell my mom in advance, like, mom, like for this year for my birthday, I'm trying to take a trip. I'm like, mom, it's my birthday. I'm turning 30. Like, you already know the facts. You know, I'm trying to go on vacation. Like, I'm giving her 8 months in advance. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I think my village is solid right now. And I'm appreciative for it, for sure.
That's amazing. I feel like I've come to be a little bit more comfortable in my village state. Like, of course, there's always more that can be done, but I cannot stress again enough about how much my mom or anyone who's played a vital part has helped me out, and I'm not going to be ungrateful for that. I am,
right.
You know, and at the end of the day, that's your child. It's your responsibility. And that's something that I need all of our moms to know out there. Like, you know, that is your baby.
Right.
If you had to describe motherhood in at least 3 words, what words would you choose and why?
3 words?
3 words. You only get 3.
I only get 3. Motherhood in 3 words. Chaos.
I felt that on
Because some days are chaotic.
Yeah.
Some days are chaotic. Like, my child would start having a tantrum at 6:30 in the morning, and I gotta be out the door in 10 minutes. I'm like, this is how I'm starting my morning, and it's chaotic. You know what I mean? Some days it be like that. I'm being honest.
Yo, you being truthful.
And I just look at her like, okay.
And I connect.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
I'm like,
you. Literally.
Chaos would be, because some days it's just be a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second one I would choose word would be, I don't know, I want to say, I feel like I keep saying balance and grace, but I think understanding. Like, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand your child. You have to know your child. Their likes, dislikes.
Yes, ma'am.
Is very important, because every child don't have, you know, it's not like the next child. Or like how you, like I used to watch my little cousin. Nothing, that was years ago, and she's 16 now, but like how I used to deal with her when like she's my daughter age,
yeah,
it's nothing like how they be saying the pandemic babies is crazy, baby. They not lying. They not lying. And then the last one that I would say is I'm gonna just go back to balance, because as mothers we balance a lot.
We do.
We balance a lot.
Like walking on a tightrope.
All day, every day.
And we make it look easy sometimes. You know, people come up like, yo, you're doing such a great hood. I'm like, I'm doing such a great job. Like, really?
Yeah,
I'm trying, bro. You know, it's really, like you said, that grace and that balance. So my next question to you, we often complain about our moms. Like, you know, like we love our moms, but they be doing a lot too.
Doing a lot.
Do you see some of yourself, like, repeating what your mom did, or maybe finding yourself like, oh, Lord, I'm turning into my mom? What the
Yes. And the crazy thing is, like, as I'm in motherhood now, and like how my mom was, I see myself doing the same thing with my daughter. Like, she was verbal sick. Like, this is something she did like when I was younger. Like, for example, when my daughter was first born, you know, you get your ears pierced. I'm like, yeah, you know, you at the 3-4 month mark.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I'm about to take her to the mall. She's like, do not take her to the mall. They're unsanitary. You need to go to the doctor. I was like, I'm like, mom, but then I thought about it. I'm like, you right. A lot of people go to the mall, you know what I'm saying? So it's like certain things, and she's guiding me through motherhood too. Like I said, she's been there, done that.
Yeah.
But like, I do see a lot of attributes in myself that my mom did when I was growing up, and I think my mom did an amazing job raising me. Like, I didn't have little to no. I was the only child too growing up, so it was pretty much me and her and my grandmother, my dad. Like,
no,
I had an amazing motherhood.
I agree. I feel you. I think for me it would be like back in the day, me and my brother like, oh, we want to go here, we want to go there, and my mom like, I don't know them, or I don't really know, and I feel the same way. I'm like, I don't know them, like.
You know what? You know what? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy you said that, because I remember it was this one specific sleepover I wanted to go to, and all my friends were going. It was like kindergarten. I can't remember when I first started remember stuff. Anyway, long story short, I wanted to spend a night and I couldn't. I'm like, why can't I spend a night?
Yes, ma'am.
But like, I see now.
Yeah, you see. People are crazy.
People are crazy.
So, what is your most frustrating part about motherhood, if you had to pick one?
I don't know, because you can plan in motherhood all day long, but them plans never go right sometimes. People like, we gonna get out the door today at 1 o'clock.
Don't get out to 2:38.
And it's like, you can plan in motherhood, and some days the plans just don't work out.
Yeah.
And you have to pivot.
And it's like you said, you give yourself that grace and that balance.
Exactly. You have to pivot.
I love that for you. I love that for us.
Yes.
If you could tell any of the listeners out there anything about motherhood and moving forward or preparing for it, what would be your words to them?
Preparing for motherhood is to get to know or understand and get to know your new self, because you're going to be a whole new person that you probably won't identify with. But if you get a chance to just fall in love with yourself pre-baby
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then post-baby,
Ooh, yes, ma'am.
I think that transition would be smooth, because like I said, I had a lot going on when I first had my daughter. We was moving and all of that, but I think get to know yourself, because you're going to be a whole new person in the blink of an eye. And you just going to be like, what? It's like, I feel like the Twilight Zone. The first 2 weeks I had my daughter, I was staying at home with my mom, but it just felt like the Twilight Zone. No
I
sleep.
agree. Yeah, no sleep.
I was like zombie thriller out there. Like, it was getting real bad. It was real bad. I was getting thriller.
You are hilarious. I can't even breathe right now.
I'm just saying.
I don't even know that was tickling. You just do this because
The thing is,
so that's amazing. I cannot wait to hear more on your progress with G and motherhood. It's been amazing talking to you about these things, because we're not alone, you know.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you on that. I want to play a game before you get out of here.
Okay.
So it's called Sit Calm with Me. But it's like a play on words, because it's actually sitcoms. And I took the titles of black shows. And I'm going to ask you questions dealing with them. You just give me your answer. It's real fun.
That was slick. That was cute. I like that. Okay.
All right, so first up, we got Family Matters. How much does family matter to you? And what is your favorite part about the family you've created thus far?
Family is very important to me. I think outside of everything else, family, is important. Never go against the family is a true statement.
Yes.
And
we don't win when the family feuds. We
never win when the family feuds, and that's just a fact. And what was the next question you said?
And what is your favorite part about the family you've created thus far?
My favorite part about the family that I've created, because I get to do is like start my own traditions and kind of like do stuff my way,
Exactly.
not always the traditional way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with the traditional way, but younger, we kind of want to do our own thing. And I think creating those traditions and creating those experiences and stuff for my daughter is like everything to me.
I love that. That's a good answer. Okay, so next up, we have a different world. Perspective is everything. What are some major differences between single and engaged life? And then I want you to compare life before motherhood to life now, which you kind of already did earlier. But let's talk about engaged and versus single.
Engaged is a lot, because it's like you in that gray area.
Yeah.
Because technically we're not married.
Right. Right.
But like we're in that gray space. And I think that it's a huge difference, because we're kind of testing the waters a little bit. Because a lot of people, they get engaged, they don't make it down the aisle.
Ooh.
That's just some real shit, but we can speak on that another time.
Yeah.
But I think the big difference is the type of things that I expect from Jabril. So you're my fiance now. We're not doing the stuff we was doing 6-7 years ago back in Morgan State. Like, we're not doing that. So you're my fiance.
Yeah.
So I hold you to a higher standard.
Ooh.
So I think that's the difference between engaged and, relationship or single.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I hold you to a whole nother standard. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? All the little petty stuff, like, none of that matters. Like, you're my fiance.
No, that's facts. And I think that's good that you hold him accountable.
Yeah.
And as he should
Accountability is very important too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And I think we can kind of skip over the mom thing, because I think you did a great job explaining pre-motherhood to now. So I appreciate that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Fresh Prince. Do you want any more kids? And would you like a son?
I do want a son. And you know the crazy thing is, I was fine with my one and done. Because like I said, I grew up the only child. Like I was fine with the one and done.
Yeah.
But Jabril, you know, he wants another kid. And it's like, for you, I will. Type of situation.
Okay, Monica.
Like,
You hear me?
that's pretty much what it is. You know, I was like, you know, I wouldn't mind having another one. Like, I know what it comes, what it's going to come with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But not right now.
Yeah.
Like, I need my daughter to be fully functional, independent. Don't call me for nothing. Don't ask me for nothing. Like, a 4 or 5 year gap, I think is perfect.
Yes. Agreed.
Because at 5 years old, I feel like she can go to the bathroom. She can, you know, tell me what she wants to eat.
Yep.
Like, she can clean up.
Yep.
I don't have to do too much. But right now, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to have a son.
Of course.
Because my daughter look like her father, and my son need to look like me.
No, seriously. She does look like
Yeah, like
hands
that's
down.
Crazy.
Yeah, couldn't deny.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel you though, because me and Zay talk about it, and of course he wanted another baby. For you, I will, Monica. You know,
For you, I will.
I had to get to that point.
Yeah.
But it's like, kids are fine. But we
Yeah.
want a son as well, so
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fun. Okay, so the game. What do you and Jabril do to have fun, and what is something that y'all may have never done that y'all would like to try? You can keep it PG or rated R, your MO. But what is fun time for y'all?
Fun time. We've done a lot, and not like that.
Yeah.
But like we've traveled, we've gone on dates, we've went to the mountains. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've done a lot. But I think something on our bucket list though that I know we both want to do is like jet skis. Like, it's so simple,
yeah.
but like I've always been scared. But I had saw this video. I think it was in Dubai. It's like the little car, or Miami. It's the car that do the jet skis. So it's like you in a car, but it's like you in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's weird, but it look lit. And I'm
That's
like, we
fire.
do that. But it's something like simple like that. Like, we like to go out. Like I said, before we had our daughter, we would go out, you know, all the time. And like when we don't have a daughter, we outside. So
They on the block. Catch them outside. You hear me?
Yeah, no, seriously. So just like dates in general. Like, I like to go out. So
I love that for you. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so girlfriends. How are you adjusting to friendships after getting engaged and becoming a mom? It was the laugh for me.
because like I'd be lying if I said that during my postpartum phase, like a lot of my friends didn't show up how I thought they would.
Okay, that's intriguing.
And you know, it's a lesson. Like, I don't even think they did it intentionally.
Of course,
because they're not mothers, and it's no shade.
Mm-hmm.
I probably got 2 people I call in my hand that really showed up for me.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, and did the work with me, was helping me change diapers,
yes,
and stuff like
man.
that. Like, it was about 2 of them.
Okay,
and I don't even think they did it intentionally, because essentially I was the first friend out of my friend group to have a child.
Okay.
So they don't know the postpartum wave. They don't know none of that shit. So I think our friend dynamic has changed. I mean, but I don't like hate them for that or anything. I just feel like they didn't understand.
Oh yeah. No,
and until they have their own child, they will know like, oh,
what
dad,
it really is to be
in the trenches.
Exactly.
You in the trenches. You don't even know you in the trenches. And they didn't know I was in the trenches. And like I said, like I had mentioned earlier to me, like, she knew I was in the trenches because she had just gave birth a year later.
Exactly.
She knew I was in the trenches. Like, she would call me, she would come over, cook, wash my hair, like shit like that.
Yeah,
is rare. You know what I'm saying? And Courtney came through, you know, changing diapers. You want to take a nap? You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, because not a lot of people know that this is what you're going through.
I'm sorry, that stood out to me.
Like, cause and that's what it was like, and I appreciate them so much for that, because like I said, I don't fault my friends for that. Because just probably didn't know.
No, that's facts. And I want to keep on the girlfriends topic. So if you could tell the friends out there who aren't moms, like, what is something that you would like for them to do to begin to show up for you? Maybe they don't understand it, but you would like to put it into a better perspective for them. What are some things you would tell them?
I would tell them, I mean, because right now, like, I'm good with all my friends. I don't really have any, like, riffraff. But
that's good.
To women who don't have kids and you have friends with the kids, you have to offer them, like, extend grace. Like,
don't invite me to Africa. I can't go. What P is saying.
Pretty much, like, you have to take into account that I can't just hop, jump, skip, and go. It has to run. It has to go through Jabril.
Yep.
That's number one.
That's one.
Like, Exactly. Like, okay, I think I want to go this for the weekend with my friends. He be like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, I give him logistics and everything.
Yes,
so I can't just hop, jump, skip, you know. And the thing is, I could probably go. I just gotta figure out the babysitting situation. But to be understanding, like, I'm not the old Paris that I was back in like 2015. I can be outside. I can be outside now, but like, it's different now. I'm a mom. Like, some things I don't want to be around. Some positions or environments I don't want to be around.
Yes, ma'am.
Because at the end of the day, like, my daughter is not like, I don't want to be in no janky situation or no weird space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I completely get what you. It's giving checks and balances. You
Checks
know?
and balances.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's giving HR status. We gotta go through the chain of command while we have kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really just want to take time to thank you for doing this with me.
Absolutely.
I
had a blast. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed you, bro. Like, you were honest. You know, you ain't really sugarcoat anything, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to tell the Rat Wild listeners?
No. You guys follow me. Plus follow Paris on everything on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Follow me. Follow my platform. Shout out to Contradict. Listen. Yes, get into the hoodie. Hold on, hoodie check.
You already
fit
know
check.
King's Play. We got it.
Yes, check. Alright, see ya.
Ain't gotta talk about it cause I'm living it. I just want them rest. I wanna be rich as shit. Mama told me I would make it and get into it. Damn, I made it, finally graduated. Stuck in all this paper. Oh, when we fly around the world, bitch, drippy on vacation. Whoa, then your bitch, she love me. Guess she really traded. Well, damn, I really made it. Wow.